Well, if you have your Google Alerts set to give you a notification anytime there's a trade rumor with the Denver Broncos, then like me, your phone has just been absolutely blowing up. We're going to break down several of these key trade rumors for players that, according to Sports Illustrated, might be on the block and the haul they might get. Then we're going to break down this last one, which is a 3-team deal that would quote-unquote give Sean Payton his picture-perfect quarterback. I would love to hear in the comments what you all think about that. And before we get going, I'm Ben. If you're new to this channel, I break down all things Denver sports. My brother is up in that box right now with his shirt off, just cheering for me. So I want to give him like a little heart to know. I'm sorry. Why do I got to be so mean? Let's dive right into the rumors of the day. We'll get to that one in a second. We're going to start with one of the ones from Sports Illustrated, just because we don't know how long we're going to have Sports Illustrated. All the rumors are Sports Illustrated is getting shut down, so we're going to go to them while we can. So here is the article of the day, which is 4 traded speculative trades that the Broncos might move. We know that we're in salary cap issue, whether or not we move on for Russ or if we keep him, we have some salary cap to shred and to shed. And so here is what the rumors are. And I just like to hear each of your thoughts on these in the comments. I'm against all of these, and I want to give you that right off the get-go. So the first one, and I think this just shows a huge level of disrespect for the talent that we have. Like, we were a game away from making the NFL playoffs. We beat both of the teams that were on TV last night. We beat the Green Bay Packers. Like, we have good players on our team, and all these players who are rumored to be trade targets who are getting next to nothing and pennies on the dollar, I think all of them are way better than what this author thinks that we'll get for him. So the first one, Jerry Jeudy. We have talked ad nauseum that Jerry Jeudy has the best feet in football. He was the best route runner. A lot of draft analysts said he was the best route runner they had ever evaluated. And the fact is, he gets open on his first cut and he's not seen. And then he gives up on the play, doesn't have that second effort, doesn't get open after the first play is broken down, and gets frustrated. And so his best game of the season, his first touchdown of the season, wasn't until the last game of the year. But the fact is, we could have traded him at the deadline, and Sean Payton said, no, I love him. And so what this author says is he thinks that the Jerry Jeudy deal would only get us a 4th-round compensatory pick. Now, we broke down a deal the other day. The rumor was that the Jerry Jeudy would go to the Browns for a 2nd-round draft pick. Now, I think I would be okay with a 2nd-round draft pick, but man, if we're getting a compensatory draft pick, 4th-round pick, that means it's at the end of the 4th round, essentially a 5th-round pick. So what do you think? How would you feel about getting essentially a 5th-round pick for a guy that we picked at number 15 overall? I would strongly veto that. The next one, Courtland Sutton. Courtland Sutton, 10 touchdowns. While he wasn't a Pro Bowl player, you saw a bunch of his teammates come out and say, like, he should have made the Pro Bowl. He had 10 touchdowns. Just an amazing jump ball guy that, as great as that catch in the end zone last night was for the Bills, that Jim Nantz said was the best catch of the year, we know Courtland Sutton in that exact end zone had a nicer one. And same exact thing is that they think we could get a 2024 4th-round pick. And again, I would be completely against giving up Sutton for only a 4th or a 5th-round draft pick. Like, that seems absurd to me. Next one gets interesting, and that is Justin Simmons. Last year of his contract, which means we have to dole out more money if we want to keep him and see him in orange and blue again next year. But this guy is such an incredible leader. He, on and off the field, like, he's been our Man of the Year nominee and made Pro Bowls, and he's just an amazing player. Same exact thing. Like, I don't know if this guy only is the 4 button on his keyboard working, but again, he says they would be looking for a 4th round, maybe a late round pick in 2025. And so the thing that makes the Justin Simmons deal maybe more interesting is that I think if you don't have Jeudy and Sutton at wide receiver, like, it's kind of bare bones after that. And we want a quarterback, whether it's Russ or Sean Payton goes and gets his own guy, we want him to have some talent so we can see, like, is this quarterback good? The thing with Simmons might be that we do have some depth with big injury returns that Stearns is returning. We got PJ Locke. We've drafted guys. And so I just think we might have a little more depth, and that the safety position isn't quite as important to evaluate the quarterback of the future as a wide receiver is. But I'm definitely, if you had to say Justin Simmons for a 4th-round pick, I would say no, although that would almost completely take care of our cap issue, in that we're about $20 million over and he's at 14.5. So then if we just renegotiated a couple other guys, we would get under. So this one, I think he's the best player rumored in this trade, but I understand that that's a lot of money, and that when you are at the point of paying a safety, it's because you have the entire team built, and now you just have that one last final piece to push you over the edge, and the Broncos need more pieces. And so I could see that one being somewhat plausible. Last one, Garrett Bowles, one of his best seasons. You hardly ever heard holding number 72, which we heard for so many years. And I guess it's not just the 4 button that this guy has on his computer. He thinks the Denver Broncos in this upcoming draft could get a 3rd-round draft pick for Bowles. And so, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that. Again, we have that cap issue that we have. This would clear up a lot of that. But at the end of the day, I'm not excited about getting rid of a starting left tackle to only get a 3rd-round draft pick out of it. So I'd love to hear in the comments, what do you all think about that? But now let's get to the thing I teased in the title of this video and as I did my intro. And that is a wild trade proposal that has the Denver Broncos, according to Evan Craig, landing picture-perfect quarterback for Sean Payton. And I hope I don't sound like too sarcastic, and I don't want to tip my hand too much. I want to hear exactly what y'all think about this. But here is the trade. It is a 3-team trade between the Miami Dolphins, the Chicago Bears, and the Denver Broncos. We know Chicago Bears have the number 1 overall draft pick, but then they also have Justin Fields, who has shown incredible flashes and looked great. We've seen this Mike McDaniel's offense score 70 points, but then just get blanked and really just beat up by the Chiefs. And so you hear a lot of people say the Bears are going to draft Caleb Williams at number 1, but want something good for Fields. And then you hear McDaniels isn't happy with Tua. So this trade would send Tua here to the Denver Broncos. Then Justin Fields would go to the Dolphins, and then draft picks would go to the Bears. And so essentially breaking down the actual details of this trade, we would give a 2025 6th-round draft pick to the Chicago Bears, and then we would get and then Chicago would give its 2nd-round pick to the Dolphins for Tua. So love to hear what y'all think about that. Do you think that Tua in this is Sean Payton's ideal quarterback? I know I'm not a Tua fan. I don't think he is a major upgrade from Russ, and I don't think he solves the problem that we have with Russ. So now we just have 2 very highly paid quarterbacks. Tua is owed money next year. Like I get for the Dolphins, if the Dolphins could flip Tua for Justin Fields, I think that's a brilliant move. But I'm not crazy about that. But ultimately, it is rumor season, and I love hearing in the comments. I feel like I have the absolute smartest commenters on all of YouTube. Love hearing from y'all. So what do you think about this 3-team deal and about the other ones that I talked about? Lots going on this week. We know Sean Payton and the coaching staff took last week off. A lot of our coaching candidates, our secondary coach, one of our quarterback coaches, are being interviewed and looked at by other teams on that coaching carousel. So we're going to have that to break down. We should hear Russ news soon. We should hear, are the Broncos going to get something for Russ? Are any of these trades going to be agreed to in theory? So it's going to be a really, really busy couple of weeks, couple of months here for Denver Broncos news. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss any of it. And as always, let's stay buckled up.